everyone!
Welcome to today's episode with
C Squared
Corporate Chronicles. I'm Ofente.
I'm Noma.
I'm Hope. And we'll be doing an OB breakdown where we unpack how organizational behavior affects real people in real life with real jobs.
So guys, what is organizational behavior?
Let's start with the basics, right? Organizational behavior is how people think, how they feel, and how they interact within the workplace, right? Could be individually, it could be as a team, it could be the whole organization, right? It is important to understand the human systems within the company. So, just a quick story.
Okay.
A few years ago, I worked at this company with amazing product, right? But internally, it was chaos. Endless meetings, missed deadlines, constant blame games. And then the CEO brought in an OB consultant, right? But she didn't analyze the spreadsheets. She watched us and she talked to us, right? So she noticed that the sales and the ops team was still holding on to a misunderstanding that happened 3 years ago, right? Crazy. So that one riff caused a breakdown in trust.
That's hectic.
So 6 months after, right, introducing better communication tools and clearer feedback system, productivity literally increased by 30%.
That's crazy. In 3 months?
That was crazy. And then that's when I realized that OB isn't just a theory. It's literally the glue that holds the workplace together.
And when we understand OB, we can create workplaces, that are better. It helps improve performance, reduce conflict, and even build stronger teams.
That is so true. That is so true.
Okay, let's talk about motivation. I'm sure motivation is a huge part of OB.
100%.
One of the most well-known theories is Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
I think I've heard of that before, but what exactly is it?
I'm not too sure now, but I remember hearing that it has to do with the 5 levels, right, of needs, which goes from basic survival to self-growth as well.
Yes, that's true. I had a cousin who worked at a retail store and he was going through it. At first, his only motivation was survival, which was salary, rent, and food.
That's crazy.
After a raise, he started caring about his job, security. Then he joined the company football team, made friends, belonging. He got praised by the manager, that boosted his esteem. Eventually, he was asked to redesign the store layout. That unlocked self-actualization.
That's good.
And I think that's a perfect example of how motivation evolves as a person moves up the hierarchy, But Maslow isn't the only theory that helps us understand what drives people at work.
Yes, and I was about to say, have you guys ever heard of Hesberg's 2-factor theory by any chance?
I think I've heard a bit about it.
So
what is it about, though?
So it's all about what satisfies versus what dissatisfies people at work.
Enlighten us.
Okay, so Hesberg breaks it down into 2 things, right? So that's hygiene factors like salary, job, security, company policies, and relationships as well, right? If those are missing, people are they're unhappy.
That's crazy.
Right? So if they're there, it doesn't automatically mean people love their jobs. It just means they don't hate them.
That's true.
Then you have motivators like achievement, recognition, responsibility, and personal growth as well. Those are what actually inspire people, to go above and beyond as well.
I hear that. So basically, paying someone fairly isn't enough. Basically. And if you want people to be motivated, you need to challenge them, you need to grow them and appreciate them.
Exactly.
And then there's expectancy theory by Victor Vroom. This one's super practical. It says people are motivated when they believe in 3 things, which are expectancy, if I try hard, I can succeed. Instrumentality, if I succeed, I'll be rewarded. Valence is the reward is actually something I care about.
Oh, okay. So let's say you're working late every night, right? Hoping for a promotion, but your manager never notices and the promotion goes to someone else. That literally kills your motivation, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it does.
100%. You stop believing, effort leads to reward. And that's why motivation isn't just about working hard. It's about trusting the system.
That is so true.
Yeah, and motivation isn't a one size fits all, right?
Yeah, it's layered. It's like it's emotional, and it's deeply connected to how people feel about their job, right? Their manager and the company culture.
All right, so now let's talk about perception.
Okay.
I think this is the part of OB that deals with how people interpret what they see and experience, you know, and how that influences judgment and decision making. But the problem is perception is subjective.
That is true. That's so true.
So basically, right, there was a manager named Naledi, and she was interviewing two great candidates, Zinhle and Mark, right? Zinhle was late because of a taxi strike that took place, and then Mark showed up early, well-dressed, and very confident as well. Naledi assumed that Mark was the better fit and then hired him because, you know, she thought he was best. But guess what? 6 months later, he quit. Meanwhile, Uzinhle, who had better experience and qualifications, was thriving as a competitor.
That's great.
Why? Because of first impressions and bias.
That's crazy. And that's the primary effect and the halo effect in action. Literally. Perception isn't reality, but it somehow still drives decisions.
And when perception goes unchecked, it messes with the team dynamics, fairness, and who gets promoted.
That's so true.
Definitely. Perception is more than just how we see people, you know. It's how we judge, decide, and act in the workplace as well. And a lot of the time, those decisions are made quickly, under pressure, or based on incomplete information.
Exactly. And that's when our brain takes shortcuts. And those shortcuts are full of biases. They're so full of biases.
Let's break a few down. We've already mentioned the halo effects,
True.
where one good trait overshadows everything else. Then there's stereotyping, making assumptions based on someone's group, not really who they are.
Don't forget attribution errors, right? Like when we blame someone's personality for a mistake, like instead of a situation, right? And there's self-servicing bias where people take credit for success but blame their failures on other people. That's another problem.
Yeah.
And these biases mess with performance reviews, bro. They mess with performance reviews, they mess with hiring and conflict resolution. Like they literally mess up with everything. Literally. So here's a quick scenario, ne? Imagine a team leader choosing someone for a leadership program, right? There are two candidates, right? But because one looks the part or matches the leader's mental picture of a typical leader, he or she gets chosen, right? And the other is overlooked.
Shame.
Even though they may be more qualified.
That's the representativeness heuristic in action. It seems small, but these decisions stack up. And suddenly your best people being passed over. That affects fit, motivation, fairness across the whole organization.
That's so true.
That's real. And you know, people talk about culture and values, but if perception is driving decisions unfairly, you get low morale, high turnover, and disengaged teams as well, right? It's not just a people problem. It becomes a performance problem as well.
Yes.
Alright. So let's talk about fit, right? I know you guys have probably heard about people being a good fit for a job or a company, right? But what does this actually mean, right? So there's two things, right? So there's person job fit, which means your skills and interests match the role, right? And then the second one is person organization fit, and it's about values. Do your beliefs align with the company's culture?
When both of those match, you get motivated, high-performing employees. When they don't, you get stress, conflicts, and high turnover. And the organization suffers, guys. A strong fit doesn't just help individuals, it drives long-term success for the entire business.
In the end, organizational behavior is literally the heartbeat of every workplace. It helps leaders understand not just the numbers, but the people driving them. By applying motivation theories, we can create environments where employees grow and excel.
And by being aware of perception, we make fairer and wiser decisions. And by aligning people's skills and values with the right roles and cultures, we build teams that don't just work, they thrive. And when these elements come together, organizations move beyond simply surviving to truly excelling, with people who feel valued, engaged, and inspired to contribute their best.
Thanks for listening to the OB Breakdown.
If you like this episode, share it with someone in HR, management, or anyone dealing with team drama.
We've got more episodes coming soon where we dig deeper into OB with real stories, real issues, and real talk. Catch you in the next one.
See you next time on
C Squared Corporate Chronicles.
Bye.